welcome here to a very special edition of the Dolphin Dive here on WakeUpCall with Dan Tortora in our exclusive multimedia marketing partnership with the LeMoyne College Dolphins. I am proud to be here in this edition of the Dolphin Dive. As I am on the road, I had to stop everything I was doing to talk with someone I consider like a little brother, part of the family, and that is Will Amica. I was with him, and it's funny that I'm sitting here in an airport because I flew home years ago when he was at West Genesee and him and his teammates were fighting for a state title. I gave them my word that if they were going to get into the state playoffs, that I would be there to watch them. I left the ACC tournament early in Charlotte, North Carolina, flew home to be with these guys in Binghamton. And so I held my end of the bargain, and then Will Amica and the crew held their end of the bargain and won the first ever New York State title for West Genesee boys basketball. So it's only fitting that I stopped everything once again in an airport to talk to my guy. Will, how we doing?
Good, how about you? I never knew that you left the ACC playoffs to come see us, though.
I did. Yeah, I left. Yeah, I think it was in the semifinals. I said I gave them my word. I have to keep my word. I got up. I got on a plane, went straight to Syracuse, got my car in the airport, and didn't go home. I took my car from the airport and drove straight to Binghamton.
That means even more than appreciate you even more.
Well, it's my pleasure and it's my honor, man. So we are here with Will Amica. This is his first season with the LeMoyne College Dolphins men's basketball program. Will, what have you taken away from it, starting a season in the Dome, being back there? You know, obviously that brings back high school moments for you. You and I talked after that game, but to reflect on it now, hindsight 2020, what did it mean to be inside of the Dome now that you've gotten to think about it?
Again, it means a lot just being from Syracuse. The history of the Dome, just the history of Syracuse University, playing there it's like an honor almost. But I feel like through 2024, I've taken every game and just learned from it. That's what I've been trying to do, just learn and grow from every game.
And in learning and growing from every game, we've seen that you can be a guy that the team can rely on. You can be the guy that's going to take that shot. What does it mean to you to be in your first season with LeMoyne and the head coach, Nate Champion, trusting in you, putting you out there and giving you the opportunity to make a difference?
It means everything. Just playing with someone playing when you know that the coach believes in you, you just have a whole different confidence. You can play a whole different game. You can play loose. It just means everything. Yeah, I love LeMoyne. Love playing here. It's been great.
Yeah, and you went through injury and, you know, had to deal with things at UAlbany and had the game taken away from you outside of your control. For those who don't know, I want to go through that journey with you. You decide to go to UAlbany, bring me into, you're at UAlbany, you're working to play, then through the injury, and then everything from there, because your story is one of adversity and it's one of belief and faith and just staying true to who you are. And I want to share that story because it's one thing to see you play for LeMoyne, but it's another thing to know how you got here. So I'd love for you to share that.
Yes, sir. Okay, so I graduated from West Genesee and go to Albany. So it's COVID, so we're getting ready for the season. Season starting a little bit later, so we've just been getting in the gym at like random gyms that we can get in because we can't really get in the gym on campus yet. So one day I'm in the gym, like right before the season start, and I'm shooting, and I don't know, my elbow starts to feel a little weird. So then, this is like the day before our first practice. So then I end up waking up the next day, and I have like a big, almost ball on my elbow. So I was probably out for like a month. I could barely straighten my arm. I don't even know what I did to it, honestly, though, but it's probably out for a month with that, just on a weird injury. But then got back from that and got to play my first game. So it felt great. Played my first game. Felt great. But felt like, yeah, okay, I'm in the college groove. Okay. Then after that, the practice after that, I got a concussion. So I got a concussion. I didn't get cleared for my concussion. for about, I can't even tell you how long, but a little while. But because it was the COVID season, the season was shorter. So by the time I got cleared from that concussion, it was already playoffs. So I got cleared that game. We ended up losing that game. So that was my freshman season. Then sophomore season comes around. Um, Practice has been cool. I've been getting a little wear and tear. I ended up having a hip impingement in my left hip, but I was playing through it. So all the scrimmages are cool. Played all the scrimmages, and then we get to the first game. The practice before the first game, another weird injury. Someone ended up running through my other hip, and I end up tearing my other labrum. So now I have two torn labrums. So basically, they told me that I need to get the surgery. So that was my sophomore season. Then my junior season at Albany, I was like, because I had to get the two surgeries, my recovery was kind of a little slower. So by the time the season got around the next year, I wasn't really 100%. I couldn't really move the way that I move, or I couldn't play the way that I play. Like the way I play basketball, I need to be mobile. I couldn't move the way that I play. I couldn't do that. So I talked to my coach. He thought it would be a good idea to uh, get another medical red shirt and just try to get my body right, and then uh, look forward to the next year and just keep my mind focused on basketball, but just look forward to the next year. So then my senior year come around at Albany, and that's really like the first season that I got to play a full season, and it was great. Few ups and downs, but it was great in the end. I can't complain. Learned a lot. Can't complain.
So when we look at that, you come to LeMoyne, and by schooling, you're what, graduate now? But how many years of eligibility do you have?
Including this year, so I have 3. So after this year, I have 2 more.
So I mean, at this point, are we going to have Dr. Amica? I guess.
And maybe, basically, Dr. Amica.
So I mean, what are your thoughts on this? I mean, to have the game taken away so many times, you've fully gotten your education. You got your education at UAlbany. You're getting your graduate at LeMoyne. Are you thinking of playing out your eligibility and having 2 more years after this year?
Yeah, I definitely want to play basketball as long as I can. I love it. I don't want to say waiting, but I've been patient. So I want to stick through and play as long as I can.
See, it's music to my ears, and selfishly, I'm happy to have you back in Central and Upstate New York, but I'm sad that you had to go through what you went through. How did you get through it? How did you handle it? We talk about mental health now more than ever. When I was in school, there wasn't the conversation about mental health. There wasn't a lot of places to go, or if we even knew what place to go when it came to mental health, because the commonality of what people would say to you is, get over it, you're too weak, stop acting like that, figure it out. You go through all this stuff that can cause a mental health crisis. How did you get through it, and did you utilize any resources that student athletes have now?
With me, I have a great support system. Like I tell my people all the time, like I love them so much. I have one of the best support systems around. So for me, it was kind of, I don't want to say it wasn't easy, but I had people to talk to all the time. I always had someone to talk to. I could always call either my mom, my dad, my brother, my friends. Like I always had someone to talk to who told me like, just be patient, just stay down, be patient. Everything's gonna work out. Everything happens for a reason. Everything's written. Like this was supposed to happen. So just stay down and trust God. Everything's gonna go right.
You said you got a great support system, great people around you. What can you say to how that group kind of works with you? Like if it's a good day, if it's a rough day, whatever it may be, how would you describe kind of the culture and the environment of your people?
Like if I have a good day, if I have a bad day, either way, it doesn't matter. Like I feel like whenever like I call my mom or call my dad or talk to my brother, it doesn't matter what happened throughout the day. Like it's almost like an escape. Like I can just I don't know, be myself, just talk, say anything, see how their day was, ask them what get out of my head and you mean see what their day was like, you mean? And I don't know, it helps me a lot. Especially this year. Like I'm literally living at my house this year. So I have that support system around all the time.
And like you said, you mentioned your brother. I got to speak with him when I continue those conversations at the Wildcat we do every month with West Genesee. And so, Christian comes up, he sits with me, and I'm looking at him and I'm going, this dude's a little bit taller. You know what I mean? Like a little bit taller. And we were talking about you and him. And I think we were talking about playing in the driveway and whatnot. So I want to clear the air here. How good is Christian? And what is it like when you guys go up against each other?
I'm gonna be honest. Christian's tough. He's tough. But when we go up against each other, it's like we gotta be careful playing against each other because we're both ultra competitive. So it's like the game could go one or two ways. But he can't mess with me though.
Okay, fair enough. Do you think he would say the same thing, or do you think he would say the opposite and look me in the eye and say, "No, Will can't. Will can't
I
hold it."
know, I know for a fact he would say the opposite.
So you say that it can go one of two ways. Do
uh,
you remember the most heated moment that you guys maybe had going up against each other? Can you go back to a time where you're like, man, this Thanksgiving we came home and it was about to be a bloodbath in the driveway. I mean, do you remember a time like that?
the most heated battle we got into was actually in video games. And I'm gonna be honest, like that was the last day I really played video games. For real. We were I can't even remember how young we was. We were so young though, but it was the first day Christian really like he spanked me in 2K. And I wasn't having it. Like I was not having it.
So you
I
re-
was not
you
having
retired.
it. I retired.
Okay, fair enough.
He put me in the retirement. I agree.
Fair enough. So Luke Sutherland, who was with you at West Jenny when you guys won that title that I got to be there for that I mentioned, the New York State title, and the first one for West Jenny, hopefully more down the road. Luke decides in his journey and everything that he's been through, he ends up coming to LeMoyne. And LeMoyne ends up going D1 and he gets the opportunity to make history with LeMoyne. And he does a phenomenal job. His shot gets better. He takes over games. And I just saw Luke healthy. Again, another guy that went through some stuff. So seeing him come through the adversity, get healthy, play as well as he played, and watch people get excited and enjoy seeing him. And I'm looking around going, y'all didn't know that this is what Luke does? I mean, this is Luke.
For
So
real.
so
For real.
my thing is Luke played a couple seasons at LeMoyne. You got the opportunity to play a few seasons at LeMoyne. How come y'all didn't time this right?
We tried. It just didn't work out, but it would have been crazy though if we could have had that link up back in college. It would have been crazy.
So for you, I mean, do you still keep in touch with the guys that you won that title with? I mean,
Hmm.
do you have like a text chain or something that you
Hmm.
try to kind of keep you all together?
Yeah, we have a little anniversary every year on the day that we won. Everybody texting a group chat like happy anniversary. I see everybody now and then. I still hang out with Cam all the time, so it's like everybody's still close. Everybody still remembers. Everybody still thinks about it from our side at least.
Are you confident or not confident that Fred Kent will get me a ring at some point?
So it's out. I mean, hopefully, hopefully. Hopefully, because are you talking about from us or them winning another one?
Either or. I mean, I think the ship's passed. I'm not going to get a ring from that one, but
Yeah,
that I was part of the family. So I'm just saying this out loud to the world so that Fred will see it. And I'm just trying to get you to
this
help
what
me
I'm
out.
this what I'm gonna say. West Genesee got some weapons and they're dangerous. I'll say that.
Fair enough. That coming from Will Amica here. Before we jump in rapid fire, let's get into this first season at LeMoyne. Obviously, it's year 2 in the school's transition to Division One. You guys have a lot of challenges that you face, especially in non-conference play, not shying away from anything, playing teams like Army West Point, and then, having these tests that have come being away from home, going up against Notre Dame, going up against Syracuse, and last year it was Georgetown and Villanova before you got here. What can you say about the non-conference play that you've been through and what it's taught you here to have such a gamut that LeMoyne plays?
Well, our non-conference schedule is pretty tough, so it taught us to be tougher. We need to be tougher. We need to do all the little things to make us a tough team, including like say we get a stop. We need to rebound and not just rebound and be okay with that, but rebound and go down and score. That's what we need to focus on, the little things, just being tougher and more connected and focused on the little things.
You talk about being connected and focused on the little things. You played a team that knows what it's like to be at the top of the mountain. 2 years in a row, the UConn Huskies have won national championships. You went to UConn, played them in Connecticut, and hung with them early on in the game. I was watching that game on FS1, I think it was on. Bring me into that experience of going up against a national championship team, a back-to-back national championship team, and what your takeaways were from that game.
It was a great environment. Um, it was just a great game to play in. Everybody always dreams of playing in those kind of games. They were playing back-to-back national champions, FS1. Everybody dreams in playing those games. So it was just a great environment. It was just uh, a great game to play in.
So from the adversity, from the losses this season up to this point, you said learn things, learn about how to take care of the little things. Don't just rebound, but rebound, get down on the other end and score. What can you say has been your biggest improvement personally from day one at LeMoyne to where you guys are right now heading into conference play?
I think me personally, I've just been focusing on trying to grow. Just grow my game in every aspect. Not trying to just focus on one thing, but improving in every aspect. Just being a better point guard, being a better teammate, being a better player, just improving in any way possible.
When you look around the locker room and at practice and in the classroom with the guys that you have on this team, your teammates, the student athletes that are on this men's basketball team at LeMoyne, what is it like to be in this environment, and how would you describe who these guys are to you and how this team is on and off the court?
It's a great environment to be in. It's like we're all like brothers. Like we all came close super fast too. It was kind of crazy, but we're all like a family. Honestly, like we're all like brothers, brotherhood. So I love them all. Yeah.
Is this team, in your opinion, right now more inside out or outside in on offense?
Um, I feel like that's our threat. Like we're versatile. It could. I feel like we could go either way. Like depending on the matchups in the game. Um, feel like if a team's giving us the three, we have weapons where we can shoot the three. But if a team's giving us the lane, I feel like we can also get inside and finish. So I feel like it's just depending on who we match up with.
You were in the transfer portal, so you know what it's like to experience it. How would you describe the transfer portal, how coaches get in touch, what it was like for you? Because NIL and the transfer portal were not supposed to work together. You were supposed to go in the transfer portal, decide where you want to go, sign there, get there, and then once you're there, then maybe NIL can open up. We've seen a lot of tampering, a lot of things that are just off the wall in collegiate athletics. What was your experience like in the transfer portal? Did you have any experiences where people were kind of just pushing you to get in the portal, saying like, "Will, I got you. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that." I mean, how did you experience the portal?
Nah, I didn't have any body pushing me to get in the portal. I made that decision myself. So I entered the portal the day it opened, and then um yeah, I just got a few calls. LeMoyne told me to come down and visit. Came. I love the school, so I came here.
What was it about Nate Champion and the staff that made you believe them? Because in today's day and age, it's really clear the people that are transactional versus the people that are relationship driven. What was it about Nate and his staff that made you believe this isn't a transaction, this is a relationship, this is a staff that I can trust?
Honestly, it was just a feeling. Cause honestly, you can never know that, but it's just a feeling, and it ended up working out. I felt like I could trust them. I felt like what they were saying was the truth, and I ended up being happy coming here. So
Best thing about being at LeMoyne so far off the court, and best thing on the court so far at
um, off the court is just being just at home, just being able to come home, hang out with my friends from here. Like it's just an unbelievable feeling. Just being able to. It's also being able to escape. Like I'm not on campus all the time. I can get off campus and escape for a little bit. But um on the court, I would say that the best thing is, I mean, knock on wood and thank God, but it's because I've been healthy. Like I've been playing this year. Yeah, I've been playing basketball. I can't you can't complain. Like that's the best part about it. Like I'm playing basketball.
when the game is taken away from you, I'm sure you can appreciate it more. I knew you appreciated it before, but when you step on the floor, like I asked you your favorite moment this season, and you said just being able to play, just playing basketball, and that big smile that you had on your face, having the appreciation going through the adversity, is it really just not even about like, oh, I got to see the ball go in the basket and I got to do this, I got to do that? I mean, is it really just going out on the court and spinning that ball in your hands and looking up at God and saying thank you before every game?
That's definitely first. That's definitely first, but I do also worry about the ball doing the right thing. I'm not gonna say just going in the basket, but the ball doing the right thing. Like if I don't want to turn the ball over, I don't want to. You feel me? But I definitely, like first off, I'm just happy to be able to play basketball. I thank God every night, every morning that I'm able to play basketball. So that comes first.
Talk about your faith, and it's something that, as you know, is very important to me as well. What can you say about your faith in God, how it drives you, how it helps you, how it's always there? I mean, people try to kind of, I think, make people, places, and things their God, and those things let you down, but God doesn't ever let you down. He's always
Facts.
on time. He's consistent, loving,
Facts.
caring, and if you let him, he'll take your darkest moments and bring out the brightest light. So speak to me on your faith and why it's so important to you.
Um, I mean, without God, like how would I still be here? Honestly, like if you think about it, like I don't want to say a lot of people in my position would have just quit, but I feel like a lot of people would have. Like God has blessed me with so many reasons to keep going, so many so many resources, so many so much of everything to keep going. Like I'm so blessed. Like my mother tells me every day I'm so blessed. I tell my mother every day I'm so blessed. Like it's it's crazy. I don't even know. I don't know where I'll be, honestly.
Mom and Dad Amica, what do you want to say to them right now? If they're sitting here watching, what would you like to say to them? I mean, the last time I talked to your mom is when I went from Binghamton over to Albany to see the girls play, and she looked at me and she goes, "You don't sleep, do you?" And I'll never forget that. She looked at me and she's like, "You don't sleep." I said, "You don't either." And she's like, "Yeah." So, what can you say about Mom and Dad? What do you want to tell Mom and Dad right now?
Thank you for everything. I love you. Yeah, they know. Like I tell them every day. Like I love them so much. I love my family. Like I can't even put it into words for, but just thank you for everything.
Well, with that being said, here on this edition of the Dolphin Dive, our exclusive multimedia partnership with LeMoyne College and your Dolphin Wake Up Call, it is time for Will and I to play rapid fire. So, Will, with that being said, you get to ask me the first question.
Okay. What year do you think West Genesee had their best basketball team?
What year did they have their best basketball team?
Yeah, no matter, not saying like if just because we won, but what year do you think West Genesee had their best basketball team?
I mean, honestly, from my connection over the years, there's been moments where I thought, okay, this team could be close. You know, there was within the last couple of years how good they and Liverpool and just like seeing that back and forth. But I mean, if I have to pick selfishly, I got to pick that run because, you know, if they ever did a 30 for 30 or they did some type of, you know, story in the background, like I would love if they did. I mean, maybe I should just do it here on Wake Up Call, but to interview you all and then get to talk from like my experience from my seat. I still to this day, I have a ton of pictures and videos on my phone, and sometimes I have to get rid of stuff to get space. And I never delete the pictures and the videos. I still have them on my phone from that day in Binghamton when y'all won. And I interviewed Luke and I interviewed you. And I mean, that was just to me personally, that was the best year for West Genesee because it was this like historic, monumental, you know, a true underdog story. Who thought you were going to make it? Who thought you were going to do it? You achieved it as a team, and I knew you guys, and that's what made it different. It's like, you know, when you get to know a team, and I've gotten to know the teams over the years, but when you know the people that are out there fighting, it's just different. And
Mm-hmm.
like looking at your team and looking up and down it and just remembering like all throughout the team, like knowing the guys and looking for each of you guys when the game ended and being like, I got to hug, I got to go hug him and I got to hug him. And I can't forget about him and where'd he go? And just being on the court. I mean, I've seen a lot of things. I've been to NBA games and college games and the Final Four and the championship game, but I'd be hard pressed to say that standing on that court with people that I know that I could find a more happier moment for
Mm-hmm.
people that like I respect and people that I know work really hard. And I'll never forget that moment. So I'd have to say that year.
Respectable.
My question back to you, if you could take over my show for the day and it was Wake Up Call with Will Amica, what three guests would you have on the show?
Three guests from what though? Like from
Anything,
LeMoyne, from anywhere,
literally anything.
anything. Okay, I probably interview. Let me get a good three. I probably interview. I say I gotta bring Bron. Gotta bring Bron. I bring. Music, so I gotta bring Uzi. I got a few questions to ask Uzi. And then I could pick like a superhero to interview or something.
Yeah.
Batman.
All right. Why Batman?
He just mysterious. Like he moved too mysterious. Like I got a few questions to ask me.
Well, I do a lot of impersonations, and one of the ones I do is Bane from Batman.
Okay.
So, and I tell people it's just Sean Connery with like a buzz on, and oh, it's Bane, but you don't even know that. But I mean, so I'll do it like at random times, and my buddy Isaac and I, it's funny because I think it's one of the things he said from the movie, but out of nowhere, you just kind of like walk up on someone and go, "I was born in the dark." But yeah, I like that Batman thing. What's your last question for me?
um, what's your favorite? What's your top 3 sides on Thanksgiving?
Top 3 sides.
Hmm.
My grandma's sweet potatoes, which I make now. So G Mama's sweet potatoes, 1. 2, this cornbread casserole dish that my friend Amy makes. And 3, I would say the stuffing that my dad's recipe that I make now that he gave me to make. I picked those 3.
That's a good lineup. That's a good lineup.
All right, let me see here. What do I got for you? My final question. Okay, so I'm gonna go to superhero.
Hmm.
So you can't choose Batman, but if
Hmm.
you could turn into any current superhero, like you and I were going to be in a movie and we get to play superheroes, which superhero would you pick for yourself? Which one would you pick for me? And what city would we protect?
Well, I mean, if I'm picking any super, it's hard not to honestly pick Superman if I'm gonna be him. So I'd be Superman. I make what's the one dude? What's the one dude who could fly? Who's like on fire? You know what I'm talking about?
Human Torch.
Human Torch. I make you Human Torch, and we protect. Um, now we going to Gotham. We gonna protect Gotham.
So basically, today's New York City.
Yeah.
So why did you pick Human Torch for me?
I don't know. That's one of my other favorite superheroes. Just because, like, I don't even know why. Honestly, I just always liked him.
I just think it's funny because when they were coming up with stuff, because Marvel and working in the movie world is something that I want to do, and I intend to do. And there was a filter where you can make yourself be on fire.
Uh,
So I did a couple of videos of that saying like I'm ready to be the Human Torch. So I just find it funny that you said that because when I did that, I was like, I could play the Human Torch. I could do that. I could play with that. So
I
I like that. What villain would we go up against?
don't even think it matter. Honestly, like, I don't even. Villains would probably leave our city. They probably get out of there when they see us around. You know, it wouldn't even matter.
I love that, and that is said by a true brother here, true part of my family, saying if we came to the city, it doesn't matter the villain because he would run. I love that. Well, I hope that the rest of this season, when they see you coming, Will, they get out the way.
Yes,
So,
sir.
with that being said, the LeMoyne Dolphins men's basketball program is in their 2024-25 season. Come and see them at home at Ted Grant Court, Syracuse, and of course on the road. It's time to get into the NEC play for the Northeast Conference, and you can see a local turned D1 athlete here and back at home in Will Amica. So, Will, for you and for your family, for Christian, for mom and dad, and all of your support system, I want to say thank you to each of you that support Will and that have been here for Will and helped to get him through this journey and get him to where he is right now and make him the person that he is. And, for me to have Will be the person that he is means a lot. So with that being said, I truly appreciate my brother. Can't say enough about him. And I thank you for tuning into this edition of the Dolphin Dive on Wake Up Call with Dan Tortora, where sports meets life. Of course, we have Dolphin Time every Wednesday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. We had to change it up a little bit for travel and the holidays. We'll be back to our normal schedule here in the new year. And you can be sure that if it comes from LeMoyne, it's coming through Wake Up Call first. And we are covering all of the sports as we have over the years, student athletes, coaches, administration, future Dolphins, and alumni, and hoping nothing but the best for the men's basketball team, for all of the teams out there, and of course for my little brother Will. With that being said, God bless, no stress, do your best. We'll talk soon.